Hi, this is Charlie Zeiss with Only PVC Pyramids. Today's video is entitled New Research Links Russian Pyramid Geometry with Ancient Hindu Temples. I began doing some research to find the sacred geometry of Russian pyramids, the 76.345 degree slant angle, in man-made structures about 6 or 7 weeks ago. And this is a continuing, ongoing area of research for me. I recently did a video that gave a broad overview of my findings, but today I wanted to do a little bit shorter discussion on the Hindu temples. This is absolutely amazing research in my view to find out that all of the ancient Hindu temples, not only in India but throughout the world, contemporary and old, all contain this very slant angle geometry in their building structure. So without any further ado, I'm going to open up my slide presentation for you now, and we'll get started talking about this specific geometry. Now, this geometry is hiding in plain sight, and as I mentioned earlier, I've set out recently to find out if I could find man-made objects incorporating this very slant angle. And to date, I've found the following areas of research, and you can go into those in the longer video entitled Hiding in Plain Sight. But we found historical memes with traditional meanings. We found religious buildings, contemporary architecture, even DNA itself, contemporary government buildings, and the subject of this video today, pyramids, temples, and hieroglyphs. Now, I've previously done a brief video on some hieroglyphs that came from the Temple of Karnak in Egypt, and today we're going to move on and begin to talk about the Hindu pyramids. So before we begin, we're using what's called an MB ruler, which is a protractor app which works with Google Chrome. And it has a degree of accuracy down to 1/100th of 1 degree. We've used several test examples just to show you how this works. The Giza pyramid is 51.82 degrees, according to the experts. And we were able to get a reading of 51.81 degrees, so 1/100th of a degree off the mark. The Russian pyramids, as determined by my calculations, have a slant angle of 76.345 degrees. We came up with 76.34 in this case. We only go out to 2 significant digits with the MB ruler, so this is as precise as we can get. Another example, this is one of the pyramids that I make, 76.34. Instead of 76.345. So we can get relatively good results if we have a picture which is directly head on. It gets a little bit less precise when that's not the case, but let's begin. Here's an example of a Hindu temple with a 76.35 degree slant angle. The first temple complex we're going to talk about today is the Annamalaiyar temple in Thiruvannamalai, India. I don't speak the language, so forgive me if I mispronounce these. But this is an aerial view of the complex. And as you can see, this is the largest one. If you look at that slant angle, you're going to see it verified here in a minute. That looks awfully close to the 76.345 that we see in the Russian pyramids, as does the side slant angles of some of these other pyramids that are oriented at a 90-degree angle to these main 4. So this pyramid complex is dedicated to the deity Shiva, who's the lord of divine energy, meditation, and yoga. So here's the major pyramid in the complex. We've done this again with the MB ruler. We've got a angle here of 76.35, as close as we can get, given the level of precision. Here's an older photograph of the same temple, 76.33. Here's some pictures of the same temple with lights on, and makes it a little easier to see. We get 76.33. Now some of the smaller temples in the complex, 76.33. 7636. Here's one of the smaller ones where we're looking at it on the side, and the side slant angle of the smaller temple, excuse me, is 7634. And here's another picture, 7634, for this temple as well. Now we're moving on to the Ranganathaswany temple complex in Srirangam, India. This is the largest operating Hindu temple in the world. And if you look in the middle here, you're going to see that this looks an awfully lot like the geometry of the Russian pyramid. This temple complex is for the deity Vishnu, who is the protector. And here's some pictures with the appropriate geometry. Here we're getting a slant angle of 76.36 degrees. Here's another photo, 7634, 7637 from a slightly different angle. Here's some of the smaller pyramids in the complex. 7635, slant angle on the outside of that temple. Here's the temple again, the main temple, 76.33 degrees and 76.34. So depending upon the angle, we're within 1/100th of a degree of the, or 2/100ths of a degree of the geometry of the Russian pyramid. I don't believe that this is an accident. Here's some older photos taken of some of the smaller temples in the complex, 7635, 7637, 7633. And finally, one more of the main at 7633. And another of the one of the smaller temples, 7635. Another temple complex, Brahmapureeswarar temple in Thirupattur, India. There are very few temple complexes that are actually devoted to Brahma. This is one of them. And the main temple, again, 7635 degree slant angle on the outside. And here's another view, 7634. Now here's a picture of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, the three main deities in Hinduism. They're all wearing, as you'll notice, similar headgear. And sure enough, in each case, the slant angle, and this is a little harder because it's so small, but we're getting an approximation of 76.4 degrees off of this photo, which is, again, extremely close to that of the Russian geometry. Here's another temple complex, the Meenakshi temple in Madurai, India. You're probably getting attuned to this. You're going to see the exact same geometry here, both on the sides and front sides and on the sides facing at a 90-degree angle. This temple complex is dedicated to Meenakshi, who was a consort of Shiva, and it's said to have originally been built in the 6th century BC. Here's some more examples here in the Meenakshi temple, 76.34 degree slant angle, 7633, 7636, 7635. On the side there, 7634. Here's another temple, the Shore Temple in Mahabalipuram, India, 7635. The Ramenshaw Temple in India, 76.34 degrees, 76.36. Here's another temple, the Thanjavur Temple in India. We've got 7638 here. This is not a direct on photo, so it's probably off just a tad. Here's a Vishnu temple in Orcca, India, with a 76.31 degree slant angle. And here is the Virapakshnu temple in India with a 76.36 degree slant angle going from here up to the top. Now we're moving on to some of the temples outside of India. The Gaffna temple in Sri Lanka, 76.33 degrees. Here's a temple in Bangkok, Thailand, 7637. A Hindu temple in Nadi, Fiji, 7633. And a temple in Singapore, 7631. Now we're going to move on to some of the temples in the United States. Here's the Meenakshi Temple in Houston, Texas, 76.35 degrees. Here's the Hindu temple in Atlanta, 7633. And the temple in Minnesota, 7636. And the temple in St. Louis, which is 76.35 degrees. And last but not least, the very first temple we showed in this section, this is actually the Hindu temple in Malibu, California, which has a slant angle of 76.35 degrees. Now, I cannot believe that it's an accident that a religious cultural institution such as Hinduism would build the vast majority of their temple complexes with the very same slant angle geometry as that found in the Russian pyramids. It's interesting that I came upon the Russian geometry from torsion physics research, and this information really is a result of a question that Richard Hoagland asked me about 6 weeks ago when I was on his show, The Other Side of Midnight, where he asked me if I had done any research into buildings or temples, pyramids, other man-made buildings around the world and whether they had this geometry. So that's really what set me on this particular topic. And I am very grateful to Patrick Koster from the Netherlands, who was the person who actually put me on to this idea right after the show. So thanks to Patrick, and this has turned out to be a very, very fruitful area of research. So I hope this is helpful. I think this is just an amazing result. A meditative religious tradition such as Hinduism using the very same slant angle of interdimensionality found in the Russian pyramids. I thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to comment to us. Please feel free to tell your friends about Only PVC Pyramids. Like us on our YouTube page and subscribe. We thank you for watching, and you have a great day.